The report of the Chairperson of the Community Committee, and we have Michael Aitken at the table, and there's a committee recommendation. Would somebody like to move the recommendation? Yanni Johansson, seconded Tim Scandrett. Any discussion? Yanni Johansson.
Thank you, councillors. You'll note that the committee recommendations are slightly different to what the staff have recommended. You'll also note in the agenda we do have a letter from the FIFA Under-20 World Cup New Zealand 2015 CEO, and I just wanted to emphasise a few points because that letter does talk about us having missed a deadline, but I just want to reassure councillors that if we approve this today, then we are getting on top of our commitments as a city, but there is more work that we need to do. This is a huge event for Christchurch. This is one of the 4th biggest sporting events in the world, as I understand it. So we will certainly have an ability to have a stunning showcase of people coming into our city. This council and the city has a proud record of hosting major international sporting events, particularly with FIFA. We've had some real success stories in the past around some of the junior women's tournaments and also some of the junior men's. These sports fields that have been recommended are really about creating an opportunity to get higher quality playing surfaces as per our commitment with FIFA when we put in the bid. We were successful in getting a semi-final in our city, which is no small achievement, and that is an incredibly positive thing opportunity that we will have. These sports fields are really key to us being a fantastic host, and they're really key to having a long-term legacy where we do have much more use out of our sporting fields than we've had in the past, given our wet winters. So time is of the essence. It's really important that we approve this today. There is a significant underwrite, but we should be aware that that is, a financial contribution that we must take on board as a council and as a city. But I think this will provide an opportunity to have a lot greater enjoyment around some really good modern sports facilities in our city that are left as a legacy for the World Cup. So I urge you to support this and help us get on and get this done.
Any other speakers? David East.
Just like to ask a question of staff, if I may. I totally support the recommendation, and I'm just interested in timelines that other sports fields may come back online, particularly the QE2 Village Green and Lancaster Park. Can you give us any indication of any timeline that they may be able to be utilised again?
Thank you, Councillor East. No, I'm unable to give any firm timeline on this occasion. QE2, as we know, is the subject to some asbestos contamination, and we have to work through a solution to that. Lancaster Park's been extensively damaged and is subject to an ongoing insurance claim. Both of those facilities, the end is not yet identified, so it'd be remiss of me to suggest deadlines at this time.
Councillor Jones.
I just wanted to ask too, I've heard that it's, did you say the 3rd or the 4th largest, Yanni, competition? 4th, yeah. What does that mean in financial terms as far as the money it brings into the city?
I can't quantify the precise amount expected to come into Christchurch from this tournament. All of the figures haven't been established at this case. When we put together the bid document and council signed off the bid, we quoted a number of figures, and I can give you a range, but a definitive financial benefit. No. Okie doke. Broadcast to over 200 countries, 470 million viewers. I've heard estimates of, the organisers have come up with estimates of $170 million net benefit to New Zealand. This hasn't been drilled down into cities yet, but under the current awarding of games, Christchurch has the second biggest allocation. So Auckland has the first, and we are number 2. So it's multi-million dollar. We would expect at least $25 million.
Pauline Cotter.
Just some clarification in the committee's recommendation there. In number 5 there, for 170,000 for Garrick Park, should this be possible? Is that supposed to be, should this be necessary?
It's supposed to be if it's possible, because the logic was that we're doing about 2/3 of Garrick Park in the first level of funding, and it just seemed silly not to take the opportunity to do the whole park and get an extra sports field of a good quality at the same time. So staff will have to work that through with what's happening there with the people that are doing the work, but effectively for a small, it's much more cost efficient to do it at the same time than to ever come back later and do it again. So it was just looking at that possibility.
Because that would give us 5.
John would like to make a comment.
Yeah, in detail, we look at things whether the existing drainage and the existing irrigation and other infrastructure will be able to handle the extra pitch. If it is possible, this recommendation gives us the opportunity to explore that and proceed if it is possible.
Yep.
In recommendation 6 there, is that pitches or is it supposed to be pitch? It's got A, sand carpet, sports pitches, so take the A out then. So how many pitches?
Right, it's the A that should go.
Okay, thank you, just one clarification.
Yep.
Tim Scandrett.
Just to follow on from that, as my understanding is, and John, you'll be able to correct me, is we have to have 4 of these standard pitches, but the ideal was to have 5, so 1 as a backup. So that would be.
Yeah.
So and these will be legacies for the city, so that
Yes.
to the sport.
Paul Lonsdale.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually support everything Yanni has said. Aside from the benefits of this coming to New Zealand and largely to Christchurch as well, we actually get left with some international facilities that can be of use to us in pitching for further games in the future. So I personally would like us to actually support this fully.
Raf Manji.
Yeah, John, given that we're going to be left with a lot of legacy assets, was any thought given to the geographic distribution? Because we've got 3 fields sort of quite close to each other, nothing in the southwest. Is that something you looked at?
Yes, Councillor. The most acute shortage of pitches at present in the southeast of the city, that's been a historical shortage. The southwest, we are just about to open 2 new pitches at Wigram Skies. That alleviates that a little bit. The southeast got hit most by the quake, and it alleviates a historical shortage and a shortage brought on by the effects of the quake. So it was considered.
Right, are there any further questions? Anyone else like to contribute to the debate?
Yeah. She just then to total up the total expenditure, that's the 985 plus these other figures, 1.8 million. Is that, am I correct there?
There's an underwrite of 985. There's a request from the infrastructure fund, 500 and 170,000, and there's existing council funding for repairs and renewals, directed to Garrick Park.
But essentially, you're telling us that this was a requirement of our bid. Yeah. So
Yes, we have to produce 4 compliant training venues.
yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. Carried. Moving on to the Andrews Crescent redevelopment, item number 28.